My mouse is having a freak out. Oh, I do have to put the one thing before I forget. This. I guess you can be here for today. Alrighty, I think she won't block anything. Okay, I think we're good. Why? Okay. Anyway. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. Wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. That is true. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. Yeah, because they could just say that he's lying to push the guilt onto someone else. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. My gosh, why are moths in my room? Why? What the frick is going on? Get away. Why is it moths? Okay. I love the first thing to start off. I don't know where the frick it went. Okay. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet! In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Apparently this thing... Huh. Anywho. If we're going back to the precinct station, it's kinda the same thing, ain't it? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on these? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Thanks, you have a lot of confidence in us. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. You said it, Maya. You said it. Oh, I might as well do this while I'm thinking about it. January 8th, 1:56 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furo Tigre? I even tamed it for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furo Tigre, but come on. pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Tigre? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... There goes one. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there, too. Come on, Phoenix, stop being afraid. I didn't even get to read what the judge said. What'd you say to me? Nothing. I said nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? Who the heck called me into this? Was it you, Spiky? No. Of course not. It was the judge. The invisible judge. It's just a ghost, don't worry. He is there. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. Oh, well, hello. Hello. Welcome. I'm just finishing up case 3? Is this case 3? I think this is case 3. Yeah, case 3 of the Trials and Tribulations. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe yous didn't hear me. I said, who the heck was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Wow, you got silent real fast. This guy has pushed coffee on your head twice, Phoenix. Please. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Maya, you can come out from under the table? I guess you could call this a table? I don't know what to call it. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I know nothing about no incident, mouse boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course, well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret that day the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought it. Phoenix. It's called the Defense Bench. Also, Godot's theme is called The Fragrance of Darkness. That is coffee. Yep. That doesn't surprise me. I know it's like the defense bench, but it's like when you look at it, they sit probably on a bench, but the thing here is like, would you call it a bench? Because they don't sit on this particular thing. I'm just like, I don't even know how she fit under the table. But, you know, that is a perfect name for Godot. Get a grip, Nick. The tiger's alibi. Okay. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Yous want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. You're so confident that she will save your butt. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Can you let the judge finish a sentence, please? What is it, please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that? I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That low-life ain't no lawyer, he just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Well, how would we have gameplay then? Firo Tigre? Well, like, me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow that cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. You can't make this legally binding, Godot. I love a good spectator sport. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute, that's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Oh well, thanks, Judge. Are you gonna help frickin' get rid of the $50,000 debt then, buddy? I'd love the help. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If you don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my... If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of the witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Okay, yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay, I can save. And now I get to try to get lucky. Because now I gotta look at what he said more closely. Alright, I know nothing. I was tied up with business in December, spent all my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash. Want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Loan. Blah, blah, blah. December 3rd. Meeting with the tiger. Does it have anything that says... Oh, medical papers for her. Okay, let's go... About no murder. I was tied up with business in last year. Spent all my time in my office. Okay, we're gonna try this. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So what now? It's called a bench because it's called a bench because all these are a bench trial. A bench trial is a trial where the judge is factor finder, that is, the judge alone makes a decision on the merits of the case after both sides present evidence. Well, thank you for that. That's a new one. I knew it was different than, like, jury trial, but I didn't know it was called that. That's cool. That's interesting. I'm gonna press. I think this is the one that I need to push up. Mr. Tigre, what do you want? Or, if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness alibi accurately. I vote to table the bench. I don't think you should do that. What are you gonna be in this case? Goodness. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. Aaron had seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness' statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please. Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Hey, at least Godot's helping. The day you talk about, I was definitely asked to. I never saw that kid before. Tables, except for the judge seat in jury tables, and the jury seats in the jury box. Yeah. Except for the judge's seat and jury box. And the jury seats in the jury box. Alright, we're gonna present the calendar. Okay. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Legg, but it appears that Mr. Legg knew you. What? Mr. Legg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Legg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Ha, you didn't know him, did you? Oh, okay, I was like, is that a laugh or a growl? I guess it's technically both. Not bad. You was actually not bad. Sorry? I just was messing with you. See how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. Who's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? When did the judge become Scooby-Doo? I didn't know Scooby-Doo was in this universe. Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh. It's beautiful. It's magic. The references in the third game are they're very good references. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Then I'd say that gives me the time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. I don't know how this is gonna go. The victim, Glenn Legg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Legg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. Waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that trivia joint. You see here? I've never seen anybody penalize for lying to the judge in this series. No, typically not. Like, more like... Phoenix Wright has been... He didn't lie. I forget what the thing is where you get contempt of court? Is that what it was? I don't remember the exact ruling it was, but he lost his badge because he pushed too far with no evidence. That's all I remember. But obviously, if everyone got freaking penalized, I don't think we would ever finish these cases. See, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. The bill's gonna go straight to you, right? No. Nope. Nope, that's you're a freaking money lending company. Why do I have to give you money? I never matched. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ever even been to Cherry Band joint here. I know it's this, I think it's this statement because of the matches, but I don't know if I have to press first. Never, not even once? Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche? Do you think he really didn't meet Glenn Legg? Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, the only thing you've missed is that we have pinned down, the case is going good. We're in the final trial piece. Like, this is not like the whole thing. We're not almost done. We're just in the big trial. Last half of it. We've pinned down Phoenix's Phoeny that he knew Glenn Legg, and now we're just trying to pin him to the scene of the crime. Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean that that whole testimony he just gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him the time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. Gotta nail him while I still can. Alright, so nothing went around. I ain't never been to Tribune. So I thought sometimes they have the things, but sometimes they don't. There you go. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? Who's you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribune before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? What was a book? That's a new one that I meant. I guess that's what you call a bundle of matches? A book? You've been snooping around in my stuff now, too, wise guy? Here's Phoenix is already talking about it. It's not literally. I think it's supposed to be like a coffin metaphor. What are you? My ball and chain? Ain't no broad control of me? No, there actually is. Her name is Viola. Matchbook? Ah. I've never used matches, so I never heard that. I was just like, oh, that's something new. Order, well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I said, I don't go back on what I said. But okay. I was at the joint bed. What? Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. What? Book sounds like a copyright-free name for a Facebook type of B-list movie. Yeah. I know, so I can't say it, but I'm gonna say hi. Well, thank you for stopping by to say hi. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night, / evening. Well, goodness, I made him sound very old. What the frick? Well. Goodness. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm in this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Legg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Tribune. I'm supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. And you decided, oh, I'll just take some matches with me and left. Okay. I see you didn't actually meet with them in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Oh my goodness. Hold it, if I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trilogy presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you're paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean around anything around here? No, probably not. Not with this guy. At Trabium. Supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant, but when I opened the door to the guy was laid out. The place wasn't where he was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out. I went straight back to my office. Let me look at the evidence real quick. 1:30 to 2:30 they met at... It doesn't tell me the time. Okay. What was... Oh, for last year. Okay, that's that thing. Boom, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I opened the door. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant. When I opened the door to this joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table studs concrete. Well, if he's coming in from, like, this side... Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what statement to press. I'm like... I figured if the place wasn't where it was gonna be, so I split. Let's try this. So you didn't actually set foot inside that restaurant. The restaurant, then? The tiger's a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chief after taking 5 books home. Poor shoot, it's almost enough to make a man cry. Okay, well at least that was an answer to the question. Alright. So, you went straight back. Did I doubt of guilt? Why did you hit... Why, Phoenix? What's you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the darkest secrets we have. Like this. The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? Did you again? Alright, well we know that's not. Okay, I just wanted to see, did he say something specific? Let's try this one. You mean you saw Glenn Legg's dead body? Guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggedy bit of cloth he called a hat. What time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches, round watches. I ain't gonna pull up my paws with some ticking hen pecker? Goodness. Out of interest, Mr. Tigre, what wins you up the second most? Huh? What'd you think? Square watches. Then what shape of watches do you want? They're circle, they're square. Do you use a frickin' octagon? And just move it, wee, and it rolls away? Is this guy for real? Look, all I need to know was something bad was going down in that place. Okay, so that doesn't tell me anything. The place wasn't on already, it was already gonna be split. And then this we looked at, so maybe this. Triangle. I guess that is true, there's a rich variety of watches out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a triangle watch, I guess I could see, but they'd have to really dull the point of the triangle so you don't, like, stab yourself from the watch. So you didn't actually set foot in the restaurant. Okay, we read this. Okay, this one I did look at. Alright, we looked at that, This. So when I opened the door of the joint, I saw one ugly scene. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant. Okay, so we have 2 statements. Okay, an ugly scene, what do you mean? Witness has already told us, Wright, which makes the question irrelevant. But... why are you like this? I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Wright. Alrighty, so I guess the first statement is the thing. Because I can't think of it. You mean you saw... oh, did I click from behind? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's the frickin' watch joke. Figurative place was there. Alright, so when I opened the door I saw one ugly scene, so this one. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lunder at all, then? The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's just Phoenix right now. Probably 100,000? If it's 50,000 per. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen, if there are any issues. Your map of the restaurant layout. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to see his dead body from the doorway. So I guess that is bugged. Well, anyways, hopefully not a lot. He's already struggling. Yeah, but he's not gonna have to worry about paying this guy back. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Trivia? You're going over old ground again, Wright. Sorry. Just earn yours. Okay. Fine. Okay. Well, they split. I heard the cops, so it's gotta be this. Alright. You got something of a loan collecting. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a divider. It's a tall partition. Try to act tough. Yeah. What? He has to try to act tough. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So unless you got close enough to see that he was laying down, I don't know how you saw the back of his head. So, from the entrance of Trebian, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him. He's got a X-ray vision. I don't think tigers have X-ray vision. Wrong, have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at its table. At his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Legg, but a fake. What? What? There we go. In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Bum 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 bum. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Legg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Yeah, I wonder why I would pick this random person to come in. Boom. Obviously, the killer's Firo Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Ugh. Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. This judge has goodness. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. He's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The servant girl brought him a Javashino. The servant girl brought him a Javashino. She put something in it. There's no question about it. She was conspicuously putting some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. This is a theater play right now. Found your pen at last, Wright? It was in my pocket. Ahem. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed 2 people that day. Where was he? He was under the defense bench right here. Maya, I think, is still under the freaking defense bench right now. Oh boy. You saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenlegg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? What was Pro doing? Hiding from the tiger? Being scared? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenlegg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlender. He's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd bet be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, had stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seemed to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. It sounds more like Miss Opek. Yeah, but she goes like a Viola goes hee like that type of thing. I think Opek goes like something like that, I would guess. And Mr. Firo Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my main now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You've got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Wright? But you've missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met the kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see it? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. He really has to have a dispensing coffee maker off screen. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. We'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trivium between yourself and the victim? Okay, ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned Leg cash about $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? Smile to the side and Godot a coffee machine. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect harmony. So anyway, he tells me he's not got no way to pay out. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I want $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. I wouldn't say so. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Legg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the big to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the payment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't no reason to kill a kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has one. But what is it? Oh, something related to money. About $100,000 that day we chat. So anyway, he has no way to pay me up. About to fuck guy when he screams. Yeah. If that waitress hadn't done, everything would have been over. I think this last statement is what I have to worry about. To steal that ticket, right? Well, technically yes, but now it's like the ticket, yeah, is worth $500,000. But this is worth millions of dollars, and if you remember, he had to pay $1 million for surgery for someone. So yeah, the waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the fended chair. Who else could I mean? If she ain't got in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Alright, I forgot all about the other part of this. Yeah. That is a thing that doesn't connect until now. Because it doesn't really play a big role for most of the case until now. Are you all there or what? Talk about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, the other than recuperating his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. Tiger's motive, huh? Alright, so... Oh. I missed it. So the Tiger was meeting Glenn Legg to get his money back. Mr. Legg had just given him the lottery ticket. That would have been the end of it. Yeah, so what's the Tiger's motive? It's the big one. If I don't manage to undermine this testimony, it's all over for us. Why would he have to poison Mr. Legg? And why did he loan him the money in the first place, when he knew he couldn't repay him? Blah, blah. I was after the 100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill that guy. Okay, well, it's one or two things. It's either this or the papers, but I think it's this CD with the virus on it. Okay. So you just intend to get back the $100,000 Mr. Leg owed you, correct? I'll loan the guy the cash, so that's my right. Fortunately for Mr. Leg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you're really after.
Objection.
Let me speak, Godot. What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. Computer virus? What does one of those do? Computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. Computer? What does one of those do? Judge, you're not this old. You may act old, but you're not this old, man. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Legg had no way to repay the money is critical. I mean, how long ago was the original game? I forget when it came out. I have to double check. Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. It came out in 2004. 2004 was when the original came out in Japan. Who knows how old he is? He with the Purple Phoenix answer meets the same judge. He meets an ancestor of the judge. I think the ancestor has. I forget what the frick. What does the frickin' ancestor look like? Oh boy. Ace Attorney Judge. I can't spell. I forget what his ancestor looks like. Wow. Oh, that's musical themes. Imagine the judge being in his 20s with long flowing hair. It would be interesting. Where is it? That's what he wants us to think. He's been acting as his ancestor. No one suspects his age. Yeah, I'm just trying to find... Where the frick is he? Like, he's still alive and doing cases because he's the judge. It would be weird without him. Maybe I have to get... Maybe it's not his ancestor. He does have a younger brother who is a judge. As well. Where the frick is it? Whatever. I can't find it. It's somewhere. It probably looks just like him. Judge Fun. I don't think he's that old. Goodness. Okay, hang on. I will be right back. Oh, come on, man. Leave the judge alone. He's done nothing wrong. He's not that old. That's even further than the Civil War. What do you mean? Maybe he's a time travel. No, I'm fine. It's because I moved away from the computer, so the tracking was having a field day. because it can't track my movements properly, so it was freaking out. Alright. What? Glenn Legg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Legg put up in order to borrow the money. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? Judge was on the first boat to get to the new one. Oh my goodness, we're going even further back in time. Leave the judge alone. He's done nothing wrong to you. He's just trying to live his life, man. When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. Seem to have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? The judge took my father from me. Okay, now you're just putting up accusations that you can't hold up. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much did you know? Goodness, I can't English with my brain right now. It's just not working. These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million, a preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. No one could pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. That is correct, because he was dumb and wasn't paying attention. Order. You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Yep. Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Even frickin' Godot is shocked. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Legg's life to pay your debt. Then I wonder if I was acting shocked now when Viola got name dropped earlier. Because it probably didn't settle in that the name Cadaverini was her last name. Because they were like, oh, who's this person that we haven't really known about in the case till now? And then he realizes Cadaverini, as in that cadaver, like it clicks in his head. Because he thinks that Phoenix is probably just spouting something wild. At least at first, and then he realizes, oh, he was serious. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenn Legg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would have preferred to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Legg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Legg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Legg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Trey, that's crazy. No one could pull it off and stuff like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money, too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Yep. Mic drop. Good job, Phoenix. Order. Silence or I will something. You've put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. You were dumb enough to dress up as Phoenix Wright? So I don't know what you're talking about. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you were very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What, another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? What was this trick you said Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Well, Judge, you were fooled, so I don't know what you mean. Fun fact about Maggie Bird, Maggie is magpie, which ironically is Japanese culture because magpies are symbol of good fortune, which is the opposite of what poor Maggie deals with on a daily basis. That's just kind of sad. The poor Maggie has a name that means good luck and fortune, but she has the opposite because she's been accused of murder. Twice. No, in the future she'll be having it a third time. It'll be farther in the future, but enough in the future where you're like, frick, why did they screw Maggie over this many times? She's trying to compete with Maya for the amount of times of being accused for murder. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Well, thank you, Judge. Ain't that nice? But apparently everyone thinks that Phoenix is all he is his jacket and his haircut. I don't know how you even thought he was the same guy, but apparently that's what everyone thought. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court a mere month ago. Good job, Judge. We're proud of you. The Phoenix Wright who put the most disreputable, shabby defense I've ever seen. And that's something to say. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Hey, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? No. Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Troy, here in court we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! But hey, you can't say that that we don't have technically a witness. At least the judge agrees, so that's one step. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances around Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You said he impersonated Glenn Legg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. So they're also seen as bad luck. Interesting. Yeah, different cultures have different symbols and meanings for birds and other things, so makes sense. This carries results to the afterlife. I still wouldn't see them as, like, completely unlucky in that regard, but it makes sense. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Wow, you changed tunes so fast. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger or you gotta get mauled. You's got it? That? All I managed to do here was chase him around a bit, but I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. And then the heads just go bop, 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 bop. Hold it!
Your Honor, sir. Wait!
Detective Gumshoe. Let's have 1 cup of water, please. I hope he does before he sleeps, so he's not awake all night.
Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too.
Yep, Gumshoe is here to save us all. He is the best. He's freaking helped us in like 3 cases now. What is it, detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
What? Gumshoe. January 8th, 2:48 p.m. District Court Defendant, Lobby Number 1. This case to the goal. Yep. But see, Proto Airship. Every time I see Godot now. So did you notice the pattern on the package? Gumshoe brought, then this becomes relevant later. It kind of looks like a melon. You can do it, I think. Yeah.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
Results?
About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're for your Tigre's paw prints, alright?
That's great. We got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh?
What?
Why not?
We need to produce, at this stage in the trial, is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Legg's coffee. He already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I wouldn't say so. Why would he be touching a medicine bottle? For someone's ear? That just sounds gross.
I knew it. Great, no matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time.
Please come to Shadow. He's writing.
It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's like, don't be negative and down on yourself, Gumshoe. He's not a loser. He may jump to conclusions really quickly, but he's doing it out of what he thinks is right. And I don't think he should be seen as a bad person for that. Maggie, you've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective.
Yeah, I would give Gumshoe a hug too to say he is a good detective. He is. There's a reason why Edgeworth wouldn't have any other detective but him help him.
And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. Really sorry, I'll get you out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? Wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Small bottle, the victim's ear medicine, covered in Firo Tigre's fingerprints. Yeah, isn't it weird that it's his fingerprints, but there's not Glenn Legg's fingerprints? Weird that the medicine for the guy who has a ruptured eardrum didn't get a chance to put it in his frickin' ear. Pretty weird, I would say. January 8th, 3:04 p.m. District Courtroom number 4. Better use that evidence. Oh, it will be useful. Trust me. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I grant you a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes. I'm gonna save, just for sanity's sake. Especially holding the law, he just doesn't have the smarts all the time. Yep, he is passionate. And wants to do the right thing. And I think you pretty much described Gumshoe to a T. Because he is a sweetheart. Retriever got into the victim's pocket at least, so it might help support the argument he dressed up as him. Yeah. Well, you'll see how it ends. Don't keep us all in suspense, Troy. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Thank Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I've been to no court before. But yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. I wouldn't say blow it out of proportion when it's true. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court. Dodong, 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 badum, badum. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. In that, the victim's... Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusions are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Prints are on that pasty-looking bottle? Is that what you say? Well, what the heck's in it anyway? We're gonna waft to here and for freaking Kingdom Come. Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything's about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Oh, we're gonna take a page out of Edgeworth and Von Karma's book? Sure. Mr. Trike, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... Mr. Armstrong's oils. Potassium cyanide. This bottle contains... potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? Poison used to murder Mr. Legg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You just make a good clown, you know that? Bluffing to the max, yep. What? You ain't never gonna get this to stick, you just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that? That's gonna fool the tiger? Bluff? I see right through you, Mr. Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. There, he could be a funny looking clown. Yeah, he would. I don't know if he'd be as funny. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. How would you know that, buddy? That cheap piece of trash doesn't look anything like it. There's our decisive evidence. Godot, anything to say now? Buddy? Pal, old friend? Oh, it's the second one that we've gotten them to open their mouth. Goodness. Got him. At last. Wait. Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide's in. Yep, he walked right into that. Yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. The Lord's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer double to hold the poison. You don't know who's you messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna just let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you. The biggest phony of all. Oh, and by the way, if you even get out of court, I assume that Viola would tell her grandfather and you'd be dead meat anyway, so I guess you lose-lose either way. So, pick your poison, buddy. Oh. What's going on? Looks like a blackout. Quite literally. Yep. Well done, Wright. I saved my 7th cup of coffee just for you. Why? Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Okay. Why me? He's the one who did it. Maybe, I guess he kinda did deserve that for bluffing, but I don't know. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of murder of Glen Lake, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Something this might just be to go to jail because if he's a free man, he's gonna get shot. Yeah, I believe that 100%. That the frickin' mob is after him. There's no way. He broke her heart. I don't think it'll end well. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Vera Tigre is truly a frightening criminal. Poison was originally meant for Tigre. Who knows? It's possible. Could have been. I wouldn't be surprised if Viola had access to that type of stuff. truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. Well, he is terrifying because he can get a freaking case from one place and get it to actually being possible. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Yay. Her second not guilty verdict. My goodness. That is all. This court is adjourned. Goodbye, Judge, for now. We'll be back. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Aw, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Wait. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks. Next time around, you get accused, Maggie. Oh, that's not for a while. I think she actually got good luck for a while.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony, then?
Huh? Oh, well, Well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Gumshoe. Wait up, detective. Just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. You're being so mean to him. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you just put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? Got a crush on you, Maggie. Yeah, you don't say. You don't say he doesn't have a... Yeah, he has a crush. Definitely. No one freaking else. Nick Wingman him. Yep. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this. Wanted to believe that, sir. But on the first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Here we are. Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. Yep. I actually really like... you know... Did you hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. How long was she locked up? Well, it's been a month since she was... You have to remember that she was previously found guilty a month ago. I do not know what that means. But yeah, she's been in prison, and she's probably been stressed because Mr. Wright helped her out before, and then she felt betrayed by his the Phoeny doing her trial and things like that. Yeah, month. She's been, whole month she has been in prison. It's like, that's a lot on the girl who did nothing wrong. It's probably, she was so stressed that she lost weight. She likes me. It's, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I get it now. I understand. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Well, it was for you in the first place. Aww. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really really good. She finds a better workplace after this. She does. She definitely does. So the case of Phoeny versus Genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up, and who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. And she ate the whole entire thing, so she really liked it. Yay! Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. 1, 2, 3, 4. This freaking chapter sucks. It freaking hurts my heart. This trial is a lot. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this trial. This trial. This trial. Alright. The girl, let her go. Let her go. Goodness.
Shut up. Come closer. And I'll kill her.
Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Well, because this is his, debut trial. So this is the first trial Edgeworth ever participated in? When he was young. That's why he looks the way he does. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Name Terry Falls. Charge kidnapping, murder. Sentence death penalty. Fugitive motive. Mints. After escaping, Flows met with the then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Yes, this is a flashback case. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Yep, it's a flashback case, because this case was before the first case that we saw. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey first trial. So this one is like a year before she helped defend Phoenix. So she... Because this case messed her up a lot. Was Phoenix in a hospital bed? Yep. Yep. That's a little hint to what the final chapter is gonna have. It's a little hint. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. Never should have accepted this case. Eek! Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to calm him. Relax him. So why did you escape anyway?
Eek!
Eek, I'm sorry.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I ain't escaped from nowhere.
What is happening with his eyes? But Mr. Flaws, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Oh, you have no idea what this case is. It's such a freaking... It's a conglomerate of a mess. Oh, boy.
Anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm just gonna use my regular voice for Mia since I'm gonna be talking for her for a little while. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Flaws did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman?
Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. He did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
You trust him, right? I mean, I should. Huh. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? Came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Aren't you funny? Where is Mr. Grossberg? That old man is probably still in bed. Yep, that is Godot. That is Godot. That be him. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? He's looking fine. So, if you remember... remember how Mia was very upset he aged so weirdly? Oh, he didn't age weirdly. It's because of unnatural causes. Is the why he looks the way he does. Because if you remember, if you connect the dots from the first case, Dahlia Hawthorne poisons a defense attorney in the cafeteria. Diego Armando was the one who was poisoned by Dahlia that day when she met Phoenix in the archives of the courthouse. So that's why Mia does not like Dahlia Hawthorne. If that connects it all together for you. No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaping death row convict for a first client. That isn't the only reason. I forget what the other reason is right now. That's one reason. I forget the other one. You can say what the other reason is. I can't remember unless it comes through the... Oh, I guess this one too. Wait, don't say it. Yeah, you'll find out why they don't like the other... You'll remember in the next case. Yeah, I will. Plus this, and then something else happens. Yeah, point is, Dahlia is connected in these cases. Not gonna lie, because we're in court, I have no idea what you're talking about. So... Let me get the thing. Case attorney. How do I spell her name? Dahlia? I can't spell Dahlia? How is it spelled? D-H. Yeah, Dahlia, thank you. I got it. I was like, how do I spell her name again? Let me get... Where is it? Ba-dum. Alright, I just gotta... Fine, we'll just do this. So, this is Dahlia. It's probably gonna get blurry if I make it bigger, but... Oh, no, that went bad. That's Dahlia. If you remember her. She was connected to the case for, because she poisoned her ex-boyfriend, one of her many exes. So, yeah, that's Dahlia. She's all connected to everything in this game. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Did Godot get brain damage after that, or did he get possessed? What happened to the weird now cycle? Yeah. Well, I don't know what the exact poison was that it was, but I think it messed up because he lived, that it messed with his vision. So he wears the visor so he can see. Because being poisoned can cause horrible effects to someone who survives. So his eyes probably got damaged, so he can't see very well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time. Yeah, she's a bit of a, she's crazy. Dahlia be a crazy woman, that's for sure. You don't want to mess with her. Solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. February 16, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 4. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. Think about it. He's a guy on death row and you caught him. What reason would he have to lie? If he's already being convicted for death row already, why is he gonna lie about this case? That's my question. Why would he lie? Because you're already putting him on death row. Oh yeah, here's the judge. Hi, Judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers from both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. I don't know why. I feel like he has longer eyelashes. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you've joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Guess our little kitten hasn't quite earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? She just debuted as a lawyer. Give her a break. Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. How old are you, Mia? I don't know how old you were when you freaking did this. How old is Armando? 27? So she's like... So probably 25, 26, 27, around that range? A hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office. A bit... looking like he met one of those... It might be his brother. Because his brother looks like that. But it might not be the same. It might be the judge. Or present-day judge. I know that there is a weird... I know he has a brother. Oh my goodness, why do I... Ace Attorney. Why does this happen sometimes? I have to check... Judge. Judge, buddy. Old pal, I need to see, where's your younger brother? Is this him? I think that Edward looks so good. Yep, he always does. Dubbed a genius as soon as he started as a prosecutor, today is his court debut. Valerie Hawthorne, police officer and the victim, the key witness in the case against Flaws 5 years ago. My client, sentenced to death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago. Yeah, it is his, yeah, it's his brother. I looked at it. I was making sure, but yeah, it is his brother. I was like, it's not the judge, it's his judge's brother. I had to look at it, I'm like... Because I needed to see if he had these things on top of his head. To be sure. And it's like, yep, that's his brother. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon, is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Flaw is responsible for her death? You got it, kitten.
It's gonna make me have a hairball. I don't like that.
Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor, it was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Flores, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl had threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Truly a horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. He looks so young in this pose. I don't know why he looks so much younger.
Godot's voice is getting progressively more deranged. It's probably happening by accident.
Because I'm trying to do the voice like this. And sometimes it gets higher and lower because it's like in the deep part of my throat
that I'm trying to say this voice. A witness's testimony. So yeah, that's what happens.
The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Flaws at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Flaws throw his young victim into the river.
Goodness.
For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
So this Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away.
That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be. Exactly, the victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne.
Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. With only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh?
Yes.
It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. That's a frickin'... We didn't even get any evidence. Hold your horses. Even our regular judge is not this fast.
Objection!
Hold it. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Oh, that hurt. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure if I care for your word choice or your tone of voice.
Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders.
You're 20. She's older than you. What are you on about? Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. Call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case.
It has that smug expression since the beginning, huh? Yep. He's very calm, cool, and confident. Gumshoe! I forgot Gumshoe was in this case. They really were destined to be partners in this. Detective and prosecutor. They were meant to be colleagues. It was destiny.
Witness, state your name and occupation.
Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of this case, sir. I finally got promoted to detective division half a year ago.
I don't believe anyone asked you about that.
Hey, ma'am. You got an idea how much work it takes?
What is it?
You're really gorgeous.
Excuse me?
Actually looks great in the beige coat.
He does. He really does.
I'm sorry, the first thing Gumshoe says is, "Oh, you're gorgeous." It's like, well, thank you, Gumshoe. That was very random first thing for you to say. It's a detective in court. No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Flirting is not the time, Gumshoe.
Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache.
You'll find out why Edgeworth and Gum here together. Oh, so I didn't know that I could
figure out how they ended up together as, like, partners at the office. Because, hey, destiny is immaculate. Mia's gorgeous, but not the place, don't you? Yes, it was a beautiful compliment, but not right now. We're having a trial about murder. I don't think someone wants that compliment right now. Also, it really was in the stars, man. They never change.
Okay, I got it.
Now, detective, tell us about the incident.
Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss.
That much is already stated in the autopsy report. Ugh, I'm getting into frickin' Armando / Godot. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself.
Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here.
Color!
This is the sketch of Dusky Bridge and all the suspended bridge. And that river runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at the police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir.
I see. Dusky Bridge map. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River.
That is a distance, man.
Was the victim's blood found on the bridge?
The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Fortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge.
Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there is no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced the two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. The judge's hair looks a bit like cornrows. It does. But hey, it makes him look different from his brother. Because this one is the younger brother of our judge that we all know and love and tolerate sometimes. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you. Wagging your finger at me as though you were a hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now listen carefully. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. So he's more short-tempered than his brother. Summary of the incident.
On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Lawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Flaws was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the mountain of the base of the mountain. When they met the founding fathers, the word young doesn't mean much. Yeah, that is true. If that is what it is. I don't know if they're that old, but you know. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. He's frickin' Edgeworth, of course he knows how to start up a case. Oh, boy. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right, especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness. Everyone's a beginner here. Huh, you got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got. It's okay, Mia, stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night watching. Alright. Yeah, he really has not changed much in a year? Yeah, a year? Oh, so Godot was the coffee dick since before the incident. Yep. You can't really change his love for coffee.
I think that's maybe why he looks at coffee kind of like poison, because maybe the coffee was poison. I know that a drink was poisoned. That's all I remember. Was unknown person phoned, the sergeant asked to meet. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Hello, it's going good. We finished case 3, now we're working on case 4. Mia's first ever time as a defense attorney in a trial. And Edgeworth's.
Sorry, but I'm afraid I do.
What?
The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Floss.
What? The defendant? The defendant called her?
Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Floss.
A note?
Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk.
Victim's note, confidential police materials written by the victim. According to this note, it seems that the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Floss. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person.
Hey, now don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to.
Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Huh? It's frickin' Edgeworth. You should never take things at face value. He frickin' sets traps like he's a frickin' hunter. It's kind of ridiculous. Alright, I want to look at that. I want to read it. February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Flaws 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Ugh. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there?
Because it's a very important place to the defendant, that's why.
What do you mean by that? You remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge.
The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Floss.
Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Ugh, I can't. Look at this voice, man. Okay. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Okay. Was the body of the victim discovered right away?
Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We didn't even have to say don't move. We got you surrounded.
Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? Location was a suspended bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what happened, then she wouldn't have been killed.
She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Floss, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive.
I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Very suspicious. The criminal stuffed her body into the trunk, tried to make a getaway. Well, my question is, why would he put her in the car if we have a 40-feet bridge of a place that apparently the bodies don't get recovered? Why didn't he just, since he's strong, lift her up and throw her over the side then, if that's what happened? Mr. Floss had a car then?
Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by the car. I mean, how else, right?
What, you mean the defendant drove his own car?
No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light.
Car thieves, I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything?
There's a photo of the stolen car's trunk.
That'd be her.
Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there.
Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. You really are the judge's brother, frickin' heck. You guys frickin' react to crime scenes like this. Goodness, the victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct?
Yeah.
Huh. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here.
You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm.
The condition on the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? But I don't see anything strange, do you? I do. Bring me the OG judge, I don't like this one. Oh, we'll be back to the regular judge in the final case. It's just important because I'm assuming our judge, our buddy, the judge, maybe he's on vacation at the time or dealing with a different case. What did the defendant have to say about this photo?
What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it, I didn't do nothing. Nothing. That's all he says.
Nothing, I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car.
It's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says,
sorry, I told a little lie.
or something like that.
Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Precisely. Goodness. Was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up. Okay, well... How do I want to... I want to press this. That's freaking... I don't see any strange, do you? I don't know that this thing is broken open if he was arrested at the checkpoint set up at the base of the mountain. I guess we'll do this and then we'll... Maybe I'll present the thing to do that. That certainly is some impressive police work.
Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Flaws might have just tried to run.
What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Flaws could have slipped right by. Listen up. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and it leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you better get more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to be caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I'm sure hope I can find some of those. We have one. Right here. So do I just present this? I was like, what do you want me to word? I'm like, where do you want me to go with this? Let me see, what do I have in here? Are we supposed to do this? Okay. No? I'm like, what do you can't tell me, that look weird. What am I supposed to do? I pressed every statement, I think. Yeah, on the day, an unknown person at the bridge was murdered, the criminal stuffed her body in the trunk and made a getaway. Here's a photo, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Right there! Right there! I don't... So we won't take this. And it won't take this. This won't... Oh. I guess the... There we go. The frickin' scarf. Okay, I got it. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. Ugh. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Fay, I'm not sure if I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? You really love freaking coffee. In everything, don't you? At least you're an easy person to get stuff for Christmas. Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking really real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective.
Yes, ma'am.
This photo. You said that there was nothing particular about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim.
The note?
It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus this special request.
I
have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where's the white scarf? Escoto was bound to end up... We did the coffee part of his brain. Who knows? He probably ran for frickin' miles with that amount of coffee. I can't seem to find it in this photo.
Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am.
And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. It's true. My hair's coming early because the coffee is hurt so much. Yeah. That probably also did not... That might be some of the reason. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have anything to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. Excuse me? The scarf you are searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance? Ah!
Where'd you find that, sir?
On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation.
Why? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?
I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. I don't know if that's legal. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. Coming from you? That's something. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it was spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. It needs the visor not because of the boys, but because he got burned by coffee on his face. That would be something believable. I think the combination of the coffee and the poison is not helpful for him. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Made a weird comment to some lady and she threw his coffee in his face. Well, that definitely could happen. Very good. Now, if you are done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Flaws did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Well, if his dad, being a defense attorney, probably helped him understand law a lot faster than other people. Events on Dusky Bridge.
Actually, there was an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the victim wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off.
Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It's about a 40 drop from the bridge to the Eagle River below. Down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intended third party. No, it was not. It was not a well-intended third party.
Who took the photo?
Well, I know who took it. You can take a guess. I guess I'll give you a clue. It's just in time, Judge Law. Yep. I'll just show this. This tells you who took the photo. This is just to tell you that the person who took the photo is in this, image. The name, at least. Aha, potential witness. So, why isn't this person in the courtroom?
Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify.
The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Oh, they are not. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. Yep, it was her. It's not really a spoiler. Like I said that she was connected to the case in the first place. So yeah, we'll be seeing Miss Butterflies and Rainbows in a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Witness photo added to the court record. Seems to have been taken by the witness. So as you can see, Terry Flaws had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge.
Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now.
Huh?
Yes, it is quite obvious. He's clearly guilty.
Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, And Sandusky Bridge. I just want to look at the photo real quick before I look at Gumshoe's testimony. Because I'm assuming it's going to be relevant. Let me just look. Okay, so she's got a hat. And then he's over here. Okay. Actually, no. There was an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness?
She's a college student.
Female college student?
That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She didn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her.
Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we are not relying on the witness's statements, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student.
Female college student, eh? Means she's female and a college student, sir.
If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you have to give us a good reason why. Let me look at... How old are you, Gumshoe, at this point? 26. Okay, you're... Wow. This really is that long ago? He's like in his... Is he in his 40s? 30s? 40s? It's a lot younger than I thought. What if Gumshoe still had a full salary at that point and has already stumbled downward the spiral of getting his paid out? Probably. It's freaking Gumshoe. Anything is possible. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. 30s. He's in his 30s? I was like, is he in his 30s, 40s? I'm like... He's older. I didn't think he was 26 back then. And when this happened, I was surprised. I even forgot that Gumshoe was in this. Huh. But yeah, that's not too bad. I was gonna be like, he's like mid-30s in the present. Yeah, so it's been a couple years. Interesting, very interesting. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness, shows the victim wearing the scarf. The victim is wearing a scarf in the photo, right? So about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains?
She was taking photos of the wildflowers, apparently.
There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there.
Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo. This cloudy fog-like thing. Is it a ghost? I don't believe it.
You mean this? All over here?
No, Your Honor, no. I don't think it's a ghost.
It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh?
That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now.
It was a good joke, I'm sure.
Looks like a cold front just moved in.
In any case... The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog.
I even slipped and fell when I was on that bridge. It really was something. It was really something.
Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well?
Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach.
Stick to police work, shifts. I remember that happening once myself. It was really... rude. We missed from the rain and the river. Yeah, makes complete sense. Because it's high up in the mountains. It's not surprising to have a bunch of fog and mist to happen. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. We're bringing this back up again? So are you saying... So is the judge Canadian? Is our judge Canadian as well? But he doesn't... I knew that was the joke that was made. I didn't think it was happening now, but, you know. Save your nasty looks for the right person. Huh? Take a look. He is, it's canon. Oh. Wow. I didn't even know that, so that was something new. I didn't know our judge, as in the one that is bald-headed and white beard, I didn't know he was Canadian. Huh. Poor baby, the court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you're spilling your coffee. Court record, huh? That must have been when the scarf fell off. What is this? Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. What? Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. What the frick am I supposed to use with this? Let's just get this. Okay. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim. Huh?
That's what the witness said. Well, looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am.
The area was wet from rain, the bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... There's something about this testimony that's still bothering me.
Talk about a surprise.
I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? Really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean. Of course I do. So little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. The crime picture with the pushing... No, mud on the jacket. Yeah, but there's not even pushing, that's another thing. Huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Because there's nothing there that shows that she was pushed. They're just standing there talking. Assumingly. It shows that they're wearing the scarf, sir. It does. But yeah, they're just talking, if anything. It's a little hard to go in. I'm going to attempt to see if this is the one. We're just gonna go down the line and go, no. No, the card. The crime picture with the pushing lid on the jacket. Huh. The accident taken by the witness. Anyway, shoved it. Oh! That makes sense. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct?
Yeah, and fog too. Just a general soggy atmosphere.
Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with that soggy atmosphere.
But this is the photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk.
Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't quite right. Is it right? Let me do this. Okay. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what is it right? What is it about this photo that the trunk doesn't fit with conditions at that day? Just her jacket. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony what were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, yeah, why isn't there, like, puddles? Like, damp pieces on her jacket? Then the front of her coat should be covered in mud. That too. Goodness, that's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. Is that not a real beard? I do admit the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If the owner had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge? Huh. The scarf. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Yeah, I was gonna say, the skirt... My gosh. Scarf! I know it's late, but man, words in the English language that I could say, man. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The evidence is this scarf. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Oh, that face still hasn't changed much. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. You're a novice as well. Hey, same to you, buddy. Miss Phaser makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's take a look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Well, he needs to apologize. Yeah. We all know that I think Edgeworth is a little more hot-headed when he first debuted. You're not. Oh, boy. Mr. Armando. I think the chat supports me on this. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that says she saw the moment of murder. 100%. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It's either the testimony or the picture. False evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like it. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in this case is the testimony, the photo. Not yet judged. Yep. It's one of these. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Probably does. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a critical fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen?
Yeah, that's what the witness told us.
Weird that you don't have a picture. Right? That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true.
He's not hurt. Oh boy. That's not just true, it's the truth. If there was truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mysterious witness after all. You should brace yourself. For the brutal truth. For the brutal truth. Goodness. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. Oh boy, Mia, please stay in your seat. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Now let's proceed with the trial. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Sorry. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how could I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double dozen and a dozen donut holes. Why food? I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have... Wait, what the frick, Judge? Hey, not so fast! Sigh. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. Bring the OG judge back, please. Oh, I wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Get me out of here. Yep, we're here. He's only for this case. And we can't deny that our judge that we had before also had interesting comments to say. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You're a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you should learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir?
Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
Man is the one we should be discussing if we sent to jail. Yeah, probably. She's a college student now. So, I think this is before she met Phoenix. Not at all, it's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation?
My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
I forget how old... What was Phoenix? Junior? I don't think it was a senior. Oh my goodness.
You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct?
And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? I know the old judge can be weird, but I don't remember him ever saying something so foul. Oh, he's never said anything like that. He's been weird and said some weird things, but he's never said anything like that. I will say that.
How can he be so mean?
Now see here, what are you doing stuffing that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. And she's also not a kid. She's a college student. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like this turn this has taken. The judge is older, wants to pitter-patter. This is canon blooper line. Also, her theme turns the older judged. This is derived from her Phoenix. This is older. The judge is older and wants to pitter-patter. This is a canon blooper line. Also, her theme turns the older judged. This directly the reason why her and Nick met. Huh. Is she staring at me? Oh boy. I don't think we need to worry about that. We're not gonna worry about the weirdness that is some of the things that say in this series, man. We frickin' had 2 adults fighting over a frickin' 16-year-old. I think we have dealt with worse. With that frickin' what was that case? That case was something to behold. I will never forget that case. I forgot it existed. That was something.
And you would be?
Yeah, it's a blooper line. I can't count that. Yeah, it wasn't. At least it was a blooper line, so. Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey.
I see. So you are...
Now then, my lady, can you please give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
Huh. Goodness. Sugar sweet. Good old Ace Attorney. Yep. I think, isn't it like rated teen? So they can make these type of jokes. The witness's photograph.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspended bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the critical moment. And right after that I called the police.
By the way, where are you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
So you took the photo from that location, eh?
I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Goodness. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this small but wonderful, powerful camera. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Joy! I feel a sense of deja vu! They really are related. They both are frickin' enamored by this frickin' woman. Like, she's pretty, don't get me wrong, but frickin' heck. Why is this the thing that happens? This is a picture of wildflowers that I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspended bridge. Was there anything strange about the 2 of them?
I'm...
Oh my gosh.
I know I am.
This case is a hostage situation. Yep.
It looked like they were having a real serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some...
Oh my gosh. What is her statements today? What is happening? Not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Judge. Shush. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were.
Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely.
Suddenly they just started fighting. Let me go. Yeah, we're kind of just stuck in this situation together, so if I'm suffering, so are you. Did you have any idea about... Do you have any idea what they were fighting about?
No, I had have no idea. Why do you ask that?
Because I have to read some of this. You have to remember, I'm reading this stuff and acting it out, man. Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. I wonder if Lila's a succubus. She would fit that very well. With the way her character's been displayed in the show. Oh, come on. Why are you crying? She just asked a simple question.
I would never eavesdrop.
But you would watch someone fight. Okay.
I got more class than that.
Seeing the younger version of these characters, how did it end up like this? Because Dahlia got involved. Or, excuse me, Melissa Foster. That's right, Miss Faye, don't drag the witness down to your level. That's when I heard and took the photo that showed the critical moment. Of what? Talking? Why did you take that photo?
Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over.
Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So you have a grandson too? So that means you've been married. Who are you married to? Your wife might want to have some questions for you, buddy. Oh boy, foster child. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Your wife might be, dragging your ear when she finds out how you've been acting in court, younger brother judge. Poor grandson, the boy better inherit a lot of that money. Yeah, I hope so too. That poor guy. And that means he had children, and then those children had a grandson. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this.
All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the critical moment and gave it to the police.
Or a banana foster. Yeah. Right after that, I called the police. Okay. I guess I might need stuff from... You called the police?
Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. You're already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we already started our operation.
Is that like a joke right now? Yeah, he's a perfect comedian. That's certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? If there are flaws in the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful. That girl has the judge right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. I notice people... I think it's... No. Oh, the critical moment. Yeah, this one. That's my guess. Because it's not critical, they're not fighting, they're just standing there. Witness? When you said you took a photo of the critical moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a critical moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that?
Well, you see... The photo we presented was the only one there was.
But if you really wanted to capture the critical moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Oh. There aren't butterflies around her. They are what? Well, isn't that a miraculous reference? Oh, boy. My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. Well, yeah, it's not even... They're not white, so it definitely has that kind of look to them. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he?
I'm sorry,
Nope. We're not saying that. My gosh. Oh, this woman's a college student. The words.
I used it all up. The film, I mean.
You ran out of film?
This photo was the last one.
What? How many pictures of flowers did you take?
Fortunately, that is the truth. I
personally examined all the photographs she took that day. Well, thank you, Edgeworth, for being helpful. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos?
Well, you see, the camera has a timer feature built into it.
So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once, too. Please, no details. I don't want to know. Seems that Miss Fay's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. You're censoring yourself, you aren't getting paid for this, so you put that out. To put that out in the world. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Nope. Even if I was being paid, man, that's not worth it. I don't want that. No, sirree, Bob. I'm already voicing her like this. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. No thanks. Nope. 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 That's someone else's prerogative. If they want to do that, by all means.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
And you're the novelist. Of Phoeny. Thank you so much. Yep. Yep. Very well, then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes?
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Do him and his wife not talk? I have many questions about his home life. Did he not get affection when he was young? Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Okay, did you say wildflowers?
Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers.
But it's only February.
Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come.
Oh, I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed Santa. I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. If I doubt he's still married at this point. I don't know. I'm assuming at least he might not even be married. I'm just assuming that he had a grandson, so he had to have been in a relationship long enough for them to have a child, for that child to then either marry or adopt to have a grandson. Because I don't think he has a lot of time as a judge to be taking care of a child all the time. I don't even know when he became a judge, I guess. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? There were two people standing up on the suspended bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. The victim turned away and tried to run, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Turned around and tried to run away. Let me get this. Let me save real quick. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him?
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her.
That seems to make sense. Wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Does it now? You got a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. As a criminal, then there must be something strange in the testimony. Okay, blah blah blah. That's all the same. Take some pictures of wildflowers. I noticed two people. Suddenly they were fighting. Turned to run away. She only got about 10 yards. She was stabbed in the back. Did he... That's very precise, first of all. And second of all, is he a freaking ninja? Did he just chuck it? And it hit? What are you doing here? Mia's doing all the work. Well, it's the same thing like Maya. He's kind of there for, like, emotional support. The victim turned around and tried to run away. The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a boy like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Why you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's still something wrong with this girl's testimony. I don't know what it is. I have to read. I was using the camera to take some pictures of the wildflowers, that's fine. And I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspended bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards. What do I need to click, man? I feel like I don't as much. Doesn't feel like he does much to support her. Yeah, I don't know. He's there. I don't know. Let me just frickin'. I did this. I think. Did I look at this one? Anything strange about the two of them? Nope. Looked like they were having a.
It looks like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some.
Okay, we went through this already. Well, anyway, I watched them very close. Okay, so we went through this. So suddenly just started fighting. She must have, like, added to her testimony? Do you have any idea what they were fighting about?
No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that?
I just thought that maybe you overheard them what they said. Okay, is this the thing? Alright. Alright. Okay, so that's the same. Turned around and tried to run away. Let me look at these two freaking statements again. Okay, why do you think she tried to run away? Police training. Large knife. Then you. Okay, it's gotta be this. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Huh. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him?
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth.
If you ask me, both of them were in danger. Wish I could have helped that out. Okay, I wonder about that. Seems kind of off. When you feel something's out, that's why you need to figure out why. Okay, so it's the last statement. I don't know what I can use to get through this, but I'm assuming it. Alright. It's about 10 yards before she got stabbed. So she's over here, so this is 5 yards. So she got about, that's a pretty good frickin' distance from someone. She was stabbed in the back. Has a timer function, witness, if taken by the witness, or by the victim. Is it the map? I guess it is. Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Huh? What? But I just...
Miss Faye, I thought I'd warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? Simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the map area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around... Oh! Did she say that? Did she say they were in the middle of the bridge? I don't remember her saying that, but yeah, if that does happen, she can't go anywhere. Where's she supposed to go? There's just an abyss. Well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have even ran 5, because Dusty Bridge is collapsed on that side. What does this all mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Get her, Mia? Yep. Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh no. Oh no, Your Honor. Allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram.
What did you say? What are you referring to?
It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying...
I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there is no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
Excuse me, sir. You're going to tell me that this bridge was broken? Broken happened during the incident and none of the two people on the bridge died. You're nuts.
That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence.
What are you on, Lance?
He's on something.
What the frickin' prosecution can say?
That guy is good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright? That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? That coward.
Well, Miss Faye, it seems you once again made a reckless accusation.
How is it her fault if they don't give her the proper diagram? Why is this her fault? Blame the frickin' prosecution.
Goodness.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No. Wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw.
So the bridge broke after the murder? So Miles is asserting that it could have happened during the murder. So he's asserting that because there's no proof or blueprints or anything that shows when the bridge was in disrepair, his assumption is that it could have easily happened during the murder or after. So it could have happened at any time. So you don't know. All they know is what it looked like once the crime had been committed.
Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
Oh, cry me a river.
We're on your side, Miss Foster.
Yeah. Because we have no proof, we can't say that he's wrong.
And that's what kind of sucks.
There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir.
Running from the crime.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms.
I'm surprised you didn't scream.
Then he carried her over to the car. Suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh, well, maybe I'll stop at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great matcha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
Huh, that's what I like to hear.
Alright, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. This contradiction is staring you in the face, me, and go on the attack. Okay. I'm gonna assume... I wonder if I can use the map again. He quickly picked her up in her arms and carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that?
Yes.
Did anything strange happen when he did that?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off.
Did she see the car? There was a cliff in the way. That's what I wonder, too. You mean this scarf?
The words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem.
I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He could have thrown it in the river. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult.
Yes, but let's remember that we were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that?
Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That's the kind of talk is just silly.
Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it?
Yes, but the mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there.
But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct?
There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks, they just love cold, isolated places.
I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. I'm sorry, I'm almost what's up when I'm... Okay. I suppose that was the only way he could have make sure the body stayed hidden. I think it would be this. Present... The killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area, you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgewood pointed out something interesting about the river.
For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
Oh. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murderers were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Yeah, why go to the trouble of getting caught with it if there's a perfect solution right in front of you? Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd to not have thrown the body into the river. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh boy, what excuse do you have now, buddy old pal?
How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do so to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature.
What are you talking about?
The point is that no matter how odd you find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. What do you mean? But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous.
Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car?
That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us.
Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again.
Who is he talking about?
Alright, I'll do my best.
Sorry. He stabbed her in the back and quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her to the car. The killer wrote, but wow. She's just adding... How long? He carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. How did you know the car was stolen? How did... What did the man do then?
Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police.
And so that's when you called the police? You sure you saw that all with your own eyes?
Yes, I'm 100% certain.
He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bed. Okay, so this is the same. I'm sorry, I don't... What the frick new stuff? Carried over the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body. Why did he break in the car if he was stolen? Why didn't he have the keys? Yeah, that's one of the things. It's like, why would he do these things? Do we even have stuff that says this? We don't have anything to say the stolen car right now. so I don't know how I would. Can I just leave that on top of the bridge? How am I gonna get through this? Can I just leave the body on top of the bridge? Nope. Alright, you won't take it. I thought I'd try. Give me the option. Thank you. I don't know how... They give me such limited evidence. Or would it already be open already? No need to break into. Yeah. Taken by the witness. Do I present the truck picture? Well, I tried to, but it wouldn't let me. Either this would man do then. Actually, I see that consensus. Blah blah blah. Okay. Couldn't just leave. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to let I talk. He's on top of the bridge. Got broke into the car. Carried her over to the car. Then he stabbed her in the back. He quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he hurried her over. Aww. I'm still thinking about how she was able to see the car. That's what I know too, but obviously, it's like, I'm assuming I don't do this. Did present and not... Well, the thing is I do this, and it's like, witness... Not this one. They don't take it. Because you know immediately they don't like it. He couldn't just leave the bot. Okay, alright. Is this the same dialogue prompt? Okay. Bum 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 bum. Go away. All of the things are the same. Go over to the car. Let me read this. You personally witnessed that. Okay, did anything strange happen when he did that? Strange with the victim's car fall off. Found on the bridge. Then he carried her over to the car. I'm going to assume... Maybe? Nope. I thought... Oh, do you have the bridge pick on the... Oh, you have to do the bridge pick on the car statement. Maybe. It's like... I was like, maybe they talk about the scarf on car. This... I love when they do this, where I'm like, hello? Nope, they don't like that either. Okay. What do you want, game? What do you want? I'm gonna just leave the button. It's gotta be this. This is the only... Not this. This one, because this is the only new statement. Oh. Goodness. Oh. This game... Fine, I'm gonna do this myself, because I know the game is gonna be like this. Okay. Ace Attorney... Trials and Tribulations. Give me the frickin' guide so I can get a frickin' hint. Turnabout beginnings. Gumshoe, gumshoe. Okay. It doesn't work. Blah blah blah. Present. Wait. Roll the trunk. Either present the witness's photo or the Dusty Bridge map on the statement. Present. Oh, because she didn't take a picture? Okay, whatever. It works. I was like, wait, what? Okay, I guess it'll tell me. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time.
Done what?
Made a critical mistake.
Critical mistake? Like what, Miss Faye?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? You even tried to even if you tried to see the car. Okay, so now we're talking about that. The outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could have not possibly seen the killer's car. Okay, finally we talked about it.
I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
Yep, I had to get a guide to help me because I'm like, what does it want? But now we finally got through. Goodness, I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. Like, there's a rock. Like, you could see the cliff face. Bridge proves the tallness. Yep. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is referred to is really more like a cliff. Ugh. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff. But you still claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
No!
Aha! Ha ha! Order in the court.
What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled into a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it.
But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony that she was told to testify only what she saw with her own eyes.
Mr. Judge?
What is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that.
Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect.
Oh my goodness. To err is human, to forgive divine. Liar. Yep. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. She's lied 3 times. What? That's not fair.
Save the tears for later. Save the tears for later.
Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial's over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, you need to relax, then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So tell me, how did she know that? Saying no one's perfect. How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom.
Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo.
It's true, there certainly looks like scratch marks around the keyhole.
Yeah, but the point is how did she know that?
Damn, this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
No. The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Don't know. Is it a yes? Or is it a no? I don't remember. Hi-tee-ho. That was a random rhyme that I just did. Sorry for that weird rhyme that I just concocted. Oh, Nelly. Where is it? It doesn't. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It doesn't work. But he stole the car. He shouldn't have had to break into the trunk. True. Melissa Foster. It looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally, I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here.
Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fay explained herself.
Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Flaws had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open.
But he stole the car.
You stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Flaws that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous, even suggesting that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could have only been put in the trunk when the accident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. No. She doesn't have to. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is that the shutter for this may have not been pushed by Miss Foster herself. The camera. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? Yep, photo timer. It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera to just take this picture.
What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed?
Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a critical point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering the question will also make it clear Miss Foster's true identity.
Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the crime occurred? I think that's what that said.
Naturally, the witness was right here.
But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing.
Well, he can't see her face.
Order, Miss Fay, what on earth?
Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim, quote-unquote victim, on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it would only have been before the defendant met the victim.
How asinine. Of course Mr. Laws met with the victim. The other person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Flaws.
You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne.
What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo?
It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness.
What?
Just woke up. Hello. We're just finishing up this first half of the case. But good morning, I guess? It's the only possible explanation.
What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness.
Just woke up. Hello. We're finishing up this first half of the case. But good morning, I guess? It's the only possible explanation. the woman that Mr. Flaws met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster.
Me?
Let's remember that it was rainy and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Flaws himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. The defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman who testified and helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. Tonight just took a nap. Well, hey, at least you enjoyed the nap. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like. You are just making this as you go along. Where's your proof? But all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Flaws had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Mr. Flaws had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Flaws who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster?
No!
I guess she, quote-unquote, fainted? Okay. Where's Miss Foster?
She's collecting herself in the lobby.
It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to call for Miss Foster. Wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Been coming on this fine night. I've been doing good. Until then, this court is in recess. Defense and the prosecution are both to wait in the respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. Yay! Okay, that's how we'll end for the night. 'Cause it's late for me, man. But we got through halfway through this case. We only have the second half of the trial, and then we're on to the final case of Trials and Tribulations. Woohoo! But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun, even if it was only for a little bit. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, at work, how late is it for you? Like, really late. But yeah, have a good day to you too.